Ahlan wa sahlan. Today's lesson is about demonstratives and how to use them in a sentence. Looking forward to it. This and that. These are words you're going to hear all the time in Arabic.
So there's two words for this, and that's because gender plays a huge role in Arabic. So if you speak only English and English is your language background, this can come as a shock. So just check out our video on gender where we explain this much more. But all throughout your Arabic studies, you're going to come across things that are masculine and things that are feminine. And so we have one word in English, this, but we've got two words in Arabic.
The thing is that anyone who started studying Arabic, they've studied a few nouns, they're going to find this a little bit strange because the feminine is not marked in the usual way of the term mabuta. It's a different word. And also, these words do class as a type of noun because when you say hadha, you're basically pointing to a person or a thing or a place. But they are mabni in the language, which means they are indeclinable. They don't take dhammatain or anything like that. Okay, so let's move on to this word that.
Right, so we have dhalika and tilka. And now, not many people notice this, and actually I didn't really ever notice this till I started teaching, but the spelling of these words is different to their pronunciation, except for tilka, actually. Tilka, that one's fine. It's the other three that you actually kind of have to watch this a little bit because of that difference.
Yeah, it's non-phonetic in a sense. It's spelt in a slightly abbreviated way, so not everything is there on the page for you. And obviously when you go on to get more advanced in Arabic, every word becomes slightly like this. But to be honest, all in all, Arabic, on the face of it, is a very, very phonetically spelled language. English isn't.
You don't have anything like Wednesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
So if I read these, how they're actually spelled, I would have hadha, hadihi, dhalika. Or how would you? I can't even say it. Dhalika.
Yeah, dhalika.
Which that's the thing. You might have heard it. The fatha is actually an alif there.
Yeah. So there's actually, we can put it in like this. This is a type of alif. Often people call it the daga alif, which you find a lot in the Quran. It's not written so much in MSA, but there's even words I think like kitab. We'd always write kitab like this.
And we never write the daga alif in MSA.
Yeah, it's not a feature, but in the Quran it is. And I have a theory for this, is that in handwriting, it's a lot easier to stick in a daga alif if you accidentally leave it out. We put another daga alif here if we wanted to make it completely phonetic. Hadihi. And then this one would be dhalika. And actually, if you pick up a copy of the Quran, you're going to see these written in most cases.
So essentially, it's written differently to how it's actually pronounced. And I've never actually had a student say hadha ever, even though the alif's not there, because everyone just knows it's hadha.
Yeah.
So just stick with that. It's hadha, hadihi, dhalika.
Yeah, perhaps we shouldn't have gone into this because then most people, you're never going to make that mistake. But it's nice to look at the language and see some words which are not always spelled like they're said. Okay, so one of the big things to note about demonstratives is that they are inherently definite. Essentially, it's this idea of something that's definite is something that's known about. Something that's indefinite is a bit more generic. But if you're pointing to something, it's gonna be known about. If I say this book, then it's not any other book. It's not really just saying like a book. It's this book. So the word this and the word that and all demonstratives are inherently definite.
Yes, when you're using them to refer to one thing or maybe a specific group of things as well. But it's definitely specific.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why. So we see here that actually they could even be interchangeable. Yeah. I could be telling you about al-qalamu, the pen. The pen is this, the pen is that. And then I might say, this is
nice.
This is nice, to refer to that one pen I was speaking about.
Okay, so let's just have a look at some examples of demonstratives used in sentences.
This is really the simplest Arabic sentence, the kind of Arabic sentence most students start off with at the very beginning, because you've got a demonstrative and you've got a noun.
هذا مسجد. This is a mosque. Again, because we've got that definite, indefinite, we've got the definite هذا followed by the indefinite مسجد. We don't need any verb to be or anything. We just say this, a mosque, and that's a full sentence.
Right, then we have هذه طالبة, which means this is a student.
This is a student. Again, we can see this agreement going throughout when things agree. You know, you've got feminine with feminine in gender. Okay, cool.
ذلك قلم means that is a pen.
Masculine, masculine. Agreement. Disagreement. Definite, indefinite.
تلك سيارة, that is a car.
And again, we've got that feminine, feminine. Agreement. Again, a couple more examples there, but really the thought that we wanted to leave you with is this idea of definite plus indefinite equals sentence. هذا مسجد. Again, we have the definite هذا and the indefinite مسجد, and that creates a sentence. So, you know, it's really important to get that down and to start analysing grammar in that way.
You might not think you need this now, and to be honest, you probably don't. But as we go on, if you keep this in mind, definite plus indefinite makes a sentence. It will make your life so easy for Arabic grammar.
Yeah.
Because if you have definite, definite, you've not got a sentence. If you have indefinite, indefinite, you've not got a sentence. And we'll see this play out as we go on. Like and subscribe. That way you'll be the first to know when we release our next video. مع السلامة.